right then. Good morning, everyone. Today is April 14th, 2021. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in Albany and also remotely. We have in attendance Chairman Bradley in the Albany offices, Commissioner Ford and Commissioner Fan attending by video. Staff in attendance, we have General Counsel Meyerhoff by video, and we have Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Roberts and myself in the Authority's Albany offices. The next meetings of the authority will be April 28th, May 12th, and May 26th. Those meetings will all be held as the meetings have been for the last year or so, using remote appearances by the members with no appearances by the public or licensees or applicants. Chairman, before we get started, you have anything to announce or say?
No, I don't. Do you?
No. All right, then. The first item on the calendar is 974. This is a $1,500 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
I'm at 1,000.
Commissioner Ford.
Yeah, 1,000. They've been in business, since 1998, and nothing that we have on record since 2006. So I'll do
Chairman Bradley.
1,000. I just need 2 minutes. I left half my items in my office.
Okay, then.
Well, that was the quickest here.
While he's gone, you two can just vote on everything else and surprise him when he gets back. All right, then the next item, 975. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept it. 100.
Commissioner Ford.
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 976. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
At 1,500, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
1,500. Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 977. This is also a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
1,500. Accept.
And Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 978. It's also a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
1,500. Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
The next item is 979. This is a $2,500 conditional offer.
2,500, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
2,500. Accept.
And Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 980. It's a $4,000 conditional offer.
4,000, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
4,000. Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 981. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500, accept.
Commissioner Ford.
1,500. Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 982. This is a $20,000 conditional offer on a license that was summarily suspended back on February 24th. Commissioner Fan.
I'll accept $20,000.
Commissioner Ford.
20,000. Accept.
And Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 983. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 984. It's a $2,000 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan.
2,000 accept. 2,000
Commissioner
accept.
Ford. Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 985. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 986. It's a application for a new package store license.
This is a store with 6 employees, principal to manage. It's 1,974 square feet, 1,454. That will be retail. The owner owns a grocery store with no negative history, but has a grocery store license. The closest store is 4.1 miles away, and there are 4 stores within 9.7 miles.
All right, then, Commissioner Fan, you ready to vote?
Yes, I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
There's no store within Adams Center itself. Although the closest store, which did not protest, says it's Adams Center. It's really several miles away down and 4 or 5 miles away down south of it in Adams. This is an extremely rural community. This only store that got protests was one that wasn't even listed as one of the closest stores, and it's like 15 miles north. So anyway, I'm surprised that there isn't a store in Adams Center already. So I definitely think this suits public convenience and advantage, and I vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve. I just think the distances between the 4 closest stores are far enough that they create the public convenience and advantage for this store.
Next item is 987. It's another new package store application.
A store with 3 employees, principals will manage. They have no experience. There's no protests. The location was previously licensed as a liquor store. It's 4,703 square feet. 3,866 square feet will be retail. There are 4 stores within 6.5 miles. 4.8 miles is the closest store.
I would just add that the closest store is in a different town.
All right, yeah, it's in a same town, but different hamlet, so to speak. Commissioner Fan,
As Chairman said, the closest store is 4.8 miles away. 3 of the 4 stores, 3 of the 4 closest stores are doing healthy numbers. This is not a bulletproof store. This applicant, though, does not have direct experience, perhaps, but the store was his brother's, and he has significant experience in retail. There are no protests. With all of that, I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
And I'll just add, for the same reason why I approved the last one, I'm surprised that there isn't a store in West Sand Lake already. So I vote to approve.
the next item is 988. This is an application for a corporate.
Tom, do I get to vote?
I'm sorry. No, you don't.
I know it doesn't mean anything, but I get to vote. For the record, anyway.
All right, 988. 987, Chairman, your vote.
I'm going to vote to approve.
All right, then now we'll do 988. It's a corporate change application.
Turn it on. So this is a restaurant with 8 employees, principal to manage. No DJs or live music, no promoters. The principal has very little experience, 6 months as a manager, actually a manager at the former licensee here. The premises has adverse history, and as I said, the applicant was the current manager when that adverse history occurred. The community board does protest, and the hours are Sunday through Thursday, 12 a.m. closing, Friday and Saturday, 2 a.m. closing. The current licensee, I believe, has a 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. closing. And in October of 2020, according to the community board, there were 44 noise complaints registered about this place with the New York City Police Department. That is more than the entire previous year. So the location has been problematic recently.
All right, then, Commissioner Fan.
The community board here voted 40-0 to deny. So I really do not see any reason to go against that, given what the chairman said about the noise complaints and all of that. So I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford.
Yeah. Based on the community board's input, I'm going to have to unfortunately vote to deny as well.
Let me just clarify for the record that this isn't the 500-foot case. So your standard is good cause, and the question here is whether there's good cause to have this the guy who was the manager at this location during these issues become a licensed principal here.
All right, so I'll vote, and I think it'll clarify it. I'm going to vote to deny as well. The applicant was the manager of this location when there was significant adverse history during COVID. Not to mention that there were significant noise complaints over a 30-day period while he was manager, which would indicate to me that there is a complete lack of supervision while he's managing. So I'm not going to perpetuate that by giving him a license at this time. So I'm voting to deny.
All right, Commissioner Ford, I don't think I got your vote on the record.
I vote to deny as well.
$9.89 is the new package store license.
It's a store with 2 employees, principal to manage. The principal has no experience. There are 2 protests, and the closest store is 0.4 miles away, and there are 4 within 1 mile. The opposition has indicated that there are 10 stores within 3,000 feet of this location, and the opposition has also indicated that the population is down in the surrounding area of Midwood, Brooklyn.
All right, Commissioner Fan, you ready to vote?
Just to be clear, and it was not previously licensed either, sorry.
No, that's okay. 2 of the 4 closing stores are doing significantly declining numbers. The store is pretty significant in size, and so I'm not seeing public convenience. I'm not seeing public convenience right now, so I will vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford.
Closest store is just pretty much holding steady at 60 miles an hour, right as they have the past several years.
Just to clarify, really, I actually think that the closest store didn't respond, and it's the second closest and the third closest that's doing declining.
The third closest didn't respond.
Yeah, but if you look at distances, the closest is actually the third one that's on the list.
Oh, I see. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Good catch.
No, that's right.
All right. So I don't really see great numbers for anybody one way or the other. So I'm not sure that I see that there's a need for another store at this location. And I'm going to vote to deny.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. there's no indication that the population is increasing in the area. The sales are at best flat for the surrounding stores. And this location is smack dab in the middle of 4 stores that already exist. So he doesn't indicate, other than he's going to offer Haitian products, what other services or products that he would offer that the other stores don't have available already. So I don't see public convenience and advantage.
Next item is 990. It's a new on-premises wine license.
This is going to be a restaurant wine license with 5 employees, principal to manage, recorded music, no dancing, no security. Max occupancy is 24 people with 5 tables with 20 seats. There's no protest. The previous licensee had an EO violation, and the applicant was employed there at that time as a chef. The EO violation appears to be minor, and it's actually still pending. The restaurant is currently open as it's a Chinese restaurant, and the hours are 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. They need a restroom waiver as well.
For the record, we're withdrawing the pleading on the case, so there is no pending EO charge against this.
All right, then, with that, Commissioner Fan.
So while I have some slight concern in this application that the restaurant is planned to be open until 2 a.m., but the owner, principal manager, says in his application that he will only be there until 10 p.m. every night. So I would say that I'm going to vote to approve until 2 a.m., but also allow a manager so that there's someone actually watching this place in the last 4 hours of operation. And Tom, I'll go with background music only.
All right, then, Commissioner Ford.
I will approve for the same reasons.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll approve as well under the same conditions.
Next item is 991. It's a new on-premises liquor license subject to the 500-foot law.
This is a tavern with 8 to 10 employees. There will be a outside manager hired, recorded music only, 21 tables with 62 seats. Will close approximately 15 to 20 times a year for private events. One of the principals has a hotel license. The community board protests, says it should be a tavern wine license, not an OP, and that there was no community outreach, although the applicants contradict that statement. The hours are 7 to 10 Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 Saturday, 8 to 8 on Sunday, and the ALJ recommends denial, although there's really nothing in the report indicating why. The lease between the applicant and the landlord calls for 20% goes to the landlord for the first $1 million in revenue, and after the first $1 million in revenue, 30% goes to the landlord as rent. In addition to, is there a rental amount too, Adam?
No, if they fail to meet their obligations for the percentage rent, then it defers to a base rent.
Okay. And as we all know, and I'll let Gary expound on this a little more, that's obviously not legal unless the landlord is going to be on the license. Gary, do you want anything to say on that?
Yeah, just that the board has in the past, and I believe there's guidance out there for landlords, allowed up to 10%, concluding that amount would be de minimis. But this is far above that. So it would be unprecedented for the board to approve such a license without the landlord on the license as part owner.
And just so everyone is clear that's listening to this, we didn't make this law. And there is a way around it. You can put the landlord on the license. I can think of multiple reasons why the landlord would not want to be on the license, but that's one way to get around it. The other way to get around it is also to do legislation. But our job is to follow the law, and the law in this subject is really clear. So
All right, so with that then, Commissioner Fan?
Yeah, I would just echo what council and chairman said. If you have clients and you're advising them to sign a deal that you know for sure it's against the law, you're wasting your client's money, you're wasting your own effort, and you're wasting our time. I mean, we don't have discretion to go from 10% to 20% when the landlord is not a municipality or not a nonprofit. So I vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford?
As so stated, we have no other choice but to deny, so I vote to deny.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to deny as well for the reasons that they just stated, but also point out that the community board also has significant issues with this place. One being one of the principals has a hotel license at the Hotel Hugo, wherein the community board has indicated there's an illegal alteration on the rooftop bar at that hotel. That would be something, should this come again in front of us, that I'm going to need information on. So if the lease changes and it comes back, I would suggest they clear that up as well.
All right, then the next item is 992. It's another package store application.
The store with 4 employees, the owner does have some experience as a cashier in a package store from March of 2016 to February of 2019. It's 3,000 square feet, 1,800 square feet of that will be retail. There are 3 protests. The closest store is 2.78 miles away, and there are 4 within 5.83 miles. This was not previously licensed, and it appears there is only 1 store in this town.
Yeah, I would also add for the record that we have a letter from the closest store's representative, which makes a claim about not being provided with a gross sales letter. But what's, what I expected to follow that concern was then supplying the board with the gross sales of that closest package store to the applicant, and that's not there. So whether there was an issue about not receiving a gross sales letter that could be attributed to the state liquor authority as opposed to the closest store seems to be irrelevant, because it's not a circumstance where the closest store did not have notice of the application or the opportunity to put in information in response to it. In fact, the absence of that information is something that I think the board under these circumstances can take into consideration.
All right, with that then, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yeah, no, hold on a second. So Commissioner Ford, can you actually tell me a little bit more about Spencerport? Because I'm concerned that this space is a complete raw space, it looks like from the pictures, but the investment, it's only $10,000.
It does look pretty, it does look pretty much in need of quite a bit of work. And that doesn't even include inventory. It doesn't even touch upon inventory.
I know, and just first month rent and security deposit, it's 40% of what she's investing. So I'm really not sure. I'm going to vote to deny.
All right, Commissioner Ford.
We didn't get a response from the closest store, which is actually in the village of Spencerport.
That's what Gary was just talking about. We actually did get a response from the representative.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give the
Who
numbers.
indicated that they didn't get a gross sales letter from us, which, well, I'm sure probably is true, but they obviously got notice that there was a new store going there because they got a representative and then still decided not to send us the gross sales, which obviously are sent in order for us to get an idea of what the demand for alcohol is. So as Gary, well, I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Yeah.
but Gary points out that we can take that under consideration.
And just
Well,
for the record, a gross sales letter was sent to the premises on October 28th, 2020. Whether or not they received it, we can't confirm.
Well, he made the case, representative, to Gary's point, he made the case for every reason why he thinks there shouldn't be one there, but he didn't provide any numbers to us for it. And he's an experienced representative.
A representative who has been practicing in front of us long enough to be fully aware that, one, we need those numbers, and two, why.
Exactly. With that being said, I don't know. I don't really see that the numbers are increasing that much with the other stores, although they are going up a bit, but I'm going to vote to deny as well.
All right, Chairman Bradley.
I was going to vote to approve simply because of the distances between the other stores, and the two closest stores did show or the second and third closest stores did show some increase. And once again, the first store we have no numbers on, and I'm going to assume that they have the same increases as the other two.
All right, then the next item is 993. This is a new on-premises liquor license.
This is a hotel in Manhattan with 75 employees, and manager will be hired. Recorded music, no dancing, one security guard per every 100 guests. The owners have numerous licenses, as well as some adverse history at many of them. This is not a 500-foot case. There are no protests. They do have signed stipulations with the community board. The location was previously licensed as a catering hall by the same applicant corporation. The community board stips are 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. for the restaurant hours, and the hotel will be open 24/7. There is no outdoor area at this location. The applicant will operate on the ground, second and third and fourth floor of a 6-story hotel. The restaurant's on the second floor. 14 tables, 37 seats, bar with 9 seats. The hotel has a max occupancy of 400 people, and there are 47 guest rooms.
All right, then, Commissioner Fan.
I'm going to vote to approve adopting all of Manhattan Community Board 1 signed stipulations.
Commissioner Ford.
I will vote to approve as well under the same conditions.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll vote to approve as well under the same conditions.
The next item is 994. This is a new on-premises wine license.
So this is a park on the west side of Manhattan on the river. It is formerly a pier that's becoming a public park with an amphitheater. The occupancy is in excess of 1,000 people. There will be 100 tables with seating for 300. There are 689 seats in the theater and 200 additional seats in what's called the Glade area. There will be 37 employees selling beer, wine, and cider. There's going to be recorded music as well as live theatrical events. They will have security as needed. They have a significant security system on site with cameras and things of that nature. The community board wants points of sale to close at 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. The applicant is asking for 11 p.m. The community board wants consumption only in the main plaza area, where the applicant wants consumption on the whole place, which is approximately 3 acres, I believe. There are only 4 customer bars on the entire premise. There are minimal points of sale, and those are really the only 2 issues that the community board and the applicant cannot agree upon. The applicant has what I would deem a detailed safety plan and a detailed security plan. And I just think what the community board is suggesting, myself, as far as the hours as well as consumption only on the main plaza, defeats the entire purpose of what this park and this $250 million investment was meant to do. It's clear to me that this is a investment for the betterment of not just Manhattan, but certainly that neighborhood as well. And I don't see how there would be problems at this place.
One thing to add, I believe the community board's issue with service outside the main plaza area is only on days when there aren't events. So they are comfortable having service throughout the island when there's a permanent event. So the narrow dispute is whether the main plaza should be the only place for consumption on days when there aren't events, and the 10 o'clock versus 11 o'clock issue.
All right, with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, as Chairman pointed out, this is one of those most exciting and large arts and culture projects that's being developed in Manhattan. And I understand the community's concerns, and I have read all the letters. However, I think the applicant in their council's letter said that there are no third-party events, which is some of the residents were concerned that this will sort of become a wedding spot, or people have, renting it out for private events, and that seems to not be the case and not the intention. And as Chairman said, it's almost offensive to think that we should limit the intention of this enormous gift to the city and compromise the design, where I think views to the water is the intention of the park. I think the community board letter is slightly misleading in stating that there are people that live around there. I'm very, very familiar with that area, and it's on the other side of the West Side Highway. The complaint of potential noise that has to do with the shows really has nothing to do with the limitation of the alcohol, because they're okay with, as Gary said, they're okay with service of alcohol all over the island when there are shows. And so with that said, and knowing what I know, I am going to vote to approve with allowing service all over the island at all times. And I can see that if this experiment is successful, that perhaps there will be midnight shows being planned. So I'm going to go to midnight on service.
All right, Commissioner Ford.
So let me see if I get this straight, Gary. It's okay to have, the community board is okay with service anywhere on the island when there are permitted events, which would mean there would probably be more people, but they're not okay when there's no events going on and there would probably be less people there.
That seems to be the case. I think they don't want, well, I'm not going to speak for them. That is the way you describe it is accurate, I believe.
Okay. And the amphitheater, it faces Hoboken. So I would think if you got any noise complaints, it would be across from New Jersey, and we don't represent them. Sorry, I know it's my home state, but that's not who I work for. I think such an investment these days in New York City, a place that needs so much right now, I think it's such an admirable thing to do, that I'm going to vote to approve this as well. I mean, what's the curfew in New York City right now? 11 o'clock anyway, right now, across the board. So I think 12.
For COVID restrictions, it is, yes.
So I'd be willing to go to midnight as well, whenever it gets to the point that that is allowable. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm agreeing with Commissioner Fan. So I vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve as well. I think it's been well documented, the usefulness of this project, and I understand the community board's concerns, and I'm sure they have had issues with places in the past that have said they were going to do one thing and then went and do another. I just think that there's no risk of that happening here because of the people involved in this. And I'm going to vote to approve. I was not going to put any limit on it. The park is open. In my mind, they could continue selling, but if it's 12, it's 12.
So are you voting for the 12 or not voting for the 12?
I'm not voting for the 12, but it is going to be 12.
If chairman's position is more flexible, Tom, I will agree with him.
All right, so you're just approving with no limitation on
Yeah,
service
like
time.
you said, it makes sense whenever the park is open, there's service.
Up till 4 a.m., obviously, but I imagine this place is not going to be open till 4.
Commissioner Ford, are you staying with the 12 a.m. or?
I might as well go with the flow. I'll go with unlimited as well.
Okay. The next item is 995. This is an alteration application for a existing package store.
This is a package store in Syracuse. They're currently at 1,435 square feet with 1,307 square feet of retail. They want to increase their size to 8,186 square feet with 6,571 square feet of retail. The closest store is 0.2 miles away, and there are 4 stores within 2.4 miles. The closest store was licensed in May of 2018. The third closest store, which is 1.5 miles away, was licensed in April of 2019. None of the closest stores are bulletproof. This store will also not be bulletproof, or is not bulletproof, and it's been licensed recently in 2019, in April of 2019. And this was filed in January of 2021, so in my mind, it was obvious that this was the plan all along.
Yeah, and
He's trying to increase the size of the store by at least six times his original size.
right, and in conjunction with the advisory that the board passed in, I think it was in 2021, earlier this year. In such circumstances, the board can treat the application as one, even though it's an alteration application, as one that's governed by the public convenience and advantage standard.
All right, so with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, I vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford.
Yes, again, an alteration that goes from what, 1,400 square feet to over 8,000 square feet total. I don't know. I kind of feel that's exactly what we've been talking about. We're not going to look too kindly upon anymore. So I vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. I don't see any public convenience and advantage in multiplying the size of this store, given the number of stores within 2.4 miles. Even though we did not get responses from 3 of the 4 closest, we put 3 of the 5 in place in the last 3 years, and I think until that settles and we can figure out what the sales numbers are going to be, that there is no public convenience and advantage at this time to adding another one.
Right. I was going to mention on the record that even if we had received responses, since two of the stores are so new, we wouldn't have been able to see a trend anyway.
All right then. Next item is 996. This is a $1,500 conditional offer.
Tom, I'll go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Licensed since 1997 with no issues, 1,000.
Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
The next item is 997. This is an application for a new package store license.
This is a store with 6 employees. Manager will be hired. The principal has no experience and will also manage. It's 1,404 square feet. 936 of that will be retail. There are no protests, and there is support letters from a current alderman, a former mayor, and a couple of manufacturers. The closest store is 0.1 miles away. It's the only other store in Salamanca.
Salamanca.
And there are 4 stores within 18.4 miles.
All right, Commissioner Ford, are you ready to vote? I mean, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
He can go first. Yes, I
I
will.
skipped over Chairman. I skipped over you, so.
You should just pick. That would be actually more interesting.
Do it, but make sure people are paying attention, Tom.
I will vote to approve, Tom.
Well, clearly, Commissioner Ford, I would not be picking myself then.
All right.
Commissioner Ford,
Chairman, did you also add in that the Salamanca Chamber of Commerce is weighed into and all support? Did you mention them as well?
I did not, so thank you.
All right. So, and it's only 936 square feet of retail. The closest store did not respond, and so I'm going to vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley,
I vote to approve, well, simply because of the distances between the second, third, and fourth closest store and the applicant. There is only one store in Salamanca right now, and I think the competition between another store is certainly public convenience and advantage because of the competition pricing as well as product.
all right, then the next item is 998. This is a no contest plea to 2 charges. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
This is the second time I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 2,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 999. This is another no contest plea to 3 charges.
I'm at 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 1,000. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm at 2,000. This is the second time as well.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
I'll go
Next
to
item,
2,000, Tom.
okay. Next item is 1,001. This is a $3,000 conditional no contest offer.
I'll
Commissioner
accept 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 3,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 1,002. It's a $6,000 conditional offer.
6,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
6,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 1,003. This is a conditional offer of $1,500.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,004, $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,005 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is a burger joint, one employee with no mask. They've been in since 2012. I'm gonna go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
That's exactly where I was at too, 1,000.
Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
Next item is 1,006. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll take 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,007, $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford
1,500 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,008 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,009. It's a new package store license.
Such fucking. What number?
1,000.
1,009.
Hey, Gary, you want to take this one? I didn't write down my notes on that.
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted by something else. Where are we?
I got it. I got it.
1009.
I got it. Just hold on. Three protests. It's a package store, 673 square feet, and the complete store will be devoted to retail space. There are 2 employees, and the principal will manage. It is not bulletproof. The closest store is 1.3 miles away, and there are 4 stores within 0.2 miles.
2.8 miles.
I'm sorry, 2.8 miles.
Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, all the neighboring stores are doing healthy, increasing numbers. This applicant is using their severance pay to open the store. And I want to support that, so I'm going to vote to approve. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford,
Store has a pretty small footprint. The other store sales are steady or increasing. As a matter of fact, the 2 closest stores are in the 5-figure range. So I'm going to vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve as well for the same reasons as the other 2 commissioners.
Next item is 1,010. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,011 is a $1,500 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,012 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,013 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is 3 employee with no mass. They've been in business since 2003, no adverse history since 2005. I will go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford
1,000.
and Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
Next item is 1,014. It's a new package store license.
This is a store with 2 employees, principal to manage, 3,150 square feet, 1,755 of that will be retail. There are 8 protests. There used to be a store in this plaza. They say they're replacing that store. The closest store is 0.4 miles away. There are 4 stores within 1.2 miles.
All right, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, all the 3 of the 4 neighboring stores are doing declining numbers. There's protests from 8 stores within this one county. I don't see public convenience here, so Nassau County is pretty saturated. And some of the letters suggest there are other mega stores coming to town, so I'm gonna vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
As Commissioner Fan said, 3 of the 4 closest stores' sales are declining. Generally, a little bit of bounce back here and there. But besides that, 2 of them have just been licensed since 2017 and 2018. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. The sales numbers are flat at best for 3 of the 4 closest. There are 4 stores within 1.2 miles. Even though with the one store, the closest store with the sales that have increased, a lot of that we've seen across the board because of COVID, and I don't expect it to sustain itself. And as we all know, the costs have gone up over the last couple of years, particularly because of the higher minimum wage and things of that nature. So it's not like their margins have increased, they decreased. So I don't see any increased demand in this area, and therefore no public convenience and advantage. I'm voting to deny.
1,015 is a $3,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 3,500.
Commissioner Ford
I'll accept 3,500.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,016, a $2,500 conditional offer.
I would take 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,017, a $1,500 conditional offer. And just for your information, the license has been renewed through 2023. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,018, a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,019, it's a $3,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 3,500.
Commissioner Ford,
3,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,020. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Uh, uh, 2,000 accept.
It's a second offense.
Yeah, okay, I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1021. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next is 1022. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1023. This is a $2,000 conditional offer.
I'll take 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Give me 1 second. I'm just making a note to myself about something. I'll accept 2,000, yes.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1024 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is 4 charges. So I'm gonna counter at 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Yeah, you're counting at what, Commissioner?
3,000. 3,000.
3,000. I'll go along with that. 3,000.
Chairman Bradley.
3,000.
1025 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford
1,500 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1026 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford
1,500 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1027 is a $4,000 conditional offer.
I will accept.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Wait, chairman's
I'm
not
actually-
voting.
I'm actually recused from this because I was there one night, one of the
I
nights.
apologize. I didn't have you down for that. I apologize. All right, then, next items. 1028 and 1130A. This is a $25,000 conditional offer.
Believe it or not, this offer it's too high, so I'm gonna go from 25,000 to 10,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I thought it was too high as well, so I'll do 10,000.
Chairman Bradley.
I thought it was high too, but I was gonna do 15.
Okay. 1029, a $2,500 conditional offer.
I would take 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
2,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1030. This is a $1,500 conditional offer, and Council's office requesting that charge number 1 be withdrawn.
I withdraw charge number 1 and accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next is 1031, $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1032. This is a $3,000 conditional offer.
All right, this is surrendered, but Tom, you want me to accept, right? Just accept and not cancel?
It's up. If right now they have another deferred penalty, and then this will be the second one, and if they don't pay, they'll be canceled. You know, it'll be an alternate penalty imposed.
Right, okay. It doesn't add up to a revoke though, right?
No, because each one is dealt with separately. So the way the current delegation is, the alternate penalty for this one first would be $1,000 bond claim and a 20-day suspension, or no, 21-day suspension. But it's, since they're surrendered, we can't impose that. So then that converts to a cancellation.
Okay, got it.
With one of these, we'll take the bond. If they don't pay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So you're gonna accept then that the.
Yes,
yeah,
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley,
I'll accept.
1,033. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I will go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
As will I, since 1997 with no violations. 1,000.
Chairman Bradley,
1,000.
1,034 is a $2,000 conditional offer.
Um,
You know, Commissioner Fan, I'm looking at this. 3 employees not properly seated, wearing face covering. The 8 patrons seated at the bar.
yeah,
Only 3 separate parties and no food. So I'm willing to. I know what you're thinking. Well, I think I know what you're thinking.
yeah.
That you want to give them some benefit of the doubt, but not quite as much as you would someone else who didn't have several charges, several things against them here. So I'm thinking 1,500.
All right, I'll go with 1,500. Thank you for solving my dilemma there.
Anytime.
Chairman Bradley,
It's a place where you can read my mind through this computer. It's not good.
What you guys go to?
$1,500.
All right, 1,500.
And Commissioner Ford has all our computers bugged apparently. 1,035. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley,
Accept.
1,036. It's a $4,000 conditional offer.
Accept 4,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept 4,000.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Can I suggest a 5-minute break?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a brief recess right now.
Yeah.
Are we ready to resume? Gary, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. I don't have your video. I've got your audio. All right, there we go.
Sorry about that.
All right. So after a brief recess, we're going to resume with item 1037. This is a new on-premises liquor license application subject to the 500-foot law.
This is a restaurant with 4 to 5 employees, background music and DJ on weekends, no dancing, 1 security guard, outdoor sidewalk cafe. The principal will manage 14 tables with 54 seats, a bar with 15 seats. The prior license here was canceled after a summary suspension. This was one of the worst offenders. The prior licensee was one of the worst offenders on Steinway Street last summer during the height of the executive order violations. The applicant currently owns and manages a gentleman's club and has made it clear she will continue to work there and will leave this premise at 10 at night, even though she's looking for a 4 a.m. close. And she also appears to have another license which was approved in August of 2020 that I don't even know if it's open yet, and that's in Woodside, Queens. Is that open, Adam?
Take a look.
The community board has stipulations. They've granted a 4 a.m. close 7 days a week with recorded karaoke, live DJ music, and a guard for every 75 people. So they basically opened the entire door for this place, even though they're not asking for all of this stuff, which I find strange. It's a 500-foot case. I found that the public interest statement was not sufficient. It looks to me like this place is going to be a club, and that was what the problem was previously.
And that prior application that you had referenced, Chairman, is not open yet.
So she has another place that is conditionally approved and not open.
Correct.
She's
So
put in,
this
a-
will be,
I was gonna say, she's put in a statement that says, I do not intend to feature live music, karaoke, dancing, jukebox, or private parties.
I
Even
know,
though-
the community board gave it to her.
Right. She says she doesn't intend to feature that, whatever that means.
All right, Tom.
All right then, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, with everything that Chairman said in his summary, I'm not confident that this licensed premise, if it were to be licensed, would just be a restaurant. Given the history here and the applicant's work history itself, I'm gonna vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford, you're muted, Commissioner Ford.
Sorry. She says she's not planning on a club or sports bar or frat bar. I'm planning to operate a restaurant serving lunch and dinner. I may use a DJ on weekends. She has a stipulation with the community board. ALJ has found that they've met the public interest. So I'm going to vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm going to vote to deny I don't see any public interest, even though the ALJ did. I thought the public interest statement was completely insufficient. She's got enough on her plate already with owning one place and opening another place, all in different areas. And she also does have some adverse history. The MO that she has at this place, at least that the community board gave her, is identical to the method of operation of the former licensee, which was an enormous problem on Steinway Street last summer. There are dozens of establishments, or at least a dozen establishments just like this establishment on Steinway Street or the surrounding streets. So there's nothing unique about this, so I don't see any public interest in adding another one.
all right then, the next item, or items, 1038, 1039. So you have a application to transfer a package store license or package for business, and from the same applicant seeking to remove it to a new location.
100 feet away.
This is going to be a store with 3 employees, or the new store will be a store with the 3 employees, principal and manage. They are moving it 100 feet. They're asking us to approve that as well. The current store is 700 square feet. The new store will be 2,664 square feet. There are 2 protests. The closest store is 0.3 miles away. There are 6 stores within 0.8 miles, all of which are bulletproof. This store will also be bulletproof, so it's going from a small bulletproof store to a very large bulletproof store. We got responses from 3 out of 6 of the closest stores, and 3 stores did not respond.
All right, so let's go first with the transfer application, because there are 2 separate applications here. So with respect to that one,
Yeah, before we do that, I just want to add something on the record, which relates to the transfer application. There is a purchase agreement here from Excelligence LLC, which in the application is characterized as a loan, and I don't believe any principals or anyone from Xceligence is on this application to be licensed. So there's a source of funding for this property, for this business, that includes this purchase agreement, which is characterized as a debt in the application. But in reviewing this agreement, it's not so clear that it's a loan. And it may very well be more properly characterized as equity, in which case this is an owner of this business who owns a piece of it and should be on the license. For example, section 3.04 of the agreement says sale, the purchase price paid by Xceligence, and by the way, they're purchasing a percentage of future receivables in the business. Purchase price paid by Xceligence reflects a purchase of the percentage of the future receivables and is not intended to be, nor shall it be construed as a loan from Xceligence to merchant. In addition, merchant agrees to be responsible for sales or excise taxes. So the agreement that's being offered as being evidence of a loan says on its face that it is not a loan. So putting aside other issues that the board may have with this, I'm wondering whether or not this source of funding requires co-licensing.
So it's an investment, it's not a loan.
Well, let's put it this way. It is a complicated transaction that does not, on its face, characterize itself as a loan, and yet the licensee, the applicant, is characterizing it as a loan.
Got it.
All right, then, unless there are any other questions or discussions, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote on the transfer application?
Can I add something here before you call the vote here just for a second?
Yes, sir.
The current store is 700 square feet. I guess that's, I'm not sure if that's retail combined or just retail, but the new location again is 2,600 square feet, but only 792 square feet of retail.
But the stores, both stores are bulletproof, so there's very minimal retail. You're not able to go and touch anything. You come in and you tell them what you want.
Right. So, but I'm saying the size is pretty much going to be about the same, at least in the front. The back of the house will be a lot of storage.
But the front of the house doesn't hold any product ever. All the product is always in the back.
Some bulletproof stores do have all you see is all they have. There are definitely some that have it like that, but I get your point.
Okay.
All right, then. Oh, is there anything else?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. On the transfer application, Commissioner Fan,
I vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm going to vote to deny. I agree with counsel that that financial arrangement between Xceligence and the applicant just seems like it's clearly a factoring arrangement, and I just am uncomfortable with them connecting to future revenues.
and just for the record, for the removal application, it appears to be moot at this point, but Commissioner Fan,
I vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
Vote to deny as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
Deny.
All right, then the next item is 1,040. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is 40 people inside. I'm going to count at 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Yeah, along with Commissioner Fan, 3,000.
Chairman Bradley,
3,000.
1,041 is a $5,000 conditional offer.
I think this is too high. I'm gonna go to 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 2,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
I'm sorry, what was that, Chairman Bradley?
2,000.
Next items, 1,042, 44, and 45.
Tom, can you
This
just
is
give
a-
me one? Tom, I'm sorry. Can you just give me 1 minute?
Sure thing.
Sorry. All right, I'm good, Tom. Sorry about that.
All right then, if we have everybody back. We'll go back, and this is 1,042, 44, 45. This is a $40,000 conditional offer. This license was summarily suspended on February 10th. It did expire at the end of March. Commissioner Fan, if you're ready to go.
Yes. This licensee had multiple warnings, and the violations were pretty egregious. Unfortunate, and there are multiple sale to minors. I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm at cancel and bond as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm at cancel as well. I mean, there are 3 cases encompassing 18 charges, 3 of which are sale to minors. And they racked all of these charges up in less than 2 years of operation. So I'm at cancel as well.
Cancel and bond claim? Chairman?
Yes, cancel and bond, yep.
Next item, 1,043, offer is cancellation. For the record, the license was already canceled. Commissioner Fan, you were muted there.
Cancel for the record.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel for the record.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel.
Next item, 1,046. It's an offer of $10,000.
10,000 is up.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 10,000.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,047. It's a no contest plea to 3 charges.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
1,048 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'm at 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,049 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,050, a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,051 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
You can do that. You can go to 1,000.
Yeah, 1 employee without a face mask since 2006. Nothing. I'll do 1,000.
and Commissioner Ford, you're going.
1,000.
Right. Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
1,052 is a $3,000 conditional offer.
I'm gonna go to 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll go to 2,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll do the same.
1,053 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'm gonna go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Open since 1999. Penalty free, 1,000.
Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
1,054, it's a new package store license.
This is a store with 3 employees, principal and managed. He has no experience. It has not been previously licensed. There are 3 protests, 1,550 square feet, 1,300 of that will be retail. The closest store is 0.1 miles away. There are 5 stores within 4.6 miles. There are 5 stores within 4.6 miles. One of the 5 stores opened in 2017. There is no evidence of an increase in population. And the opposition indicates that there are 7 stores within approximately 2.3 miles. Or no, I'm sorry, our paperwork indicates that. That's it.
All right, then. Commissioner Fan,
The closest store is 0.1 miles away, as Chairman pointed out, and the numbers are really not justifying it in the store. There's no public convenience. I'm voting to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
2 of the closest, the 2 closest stores sales have gone up, but have gone down. There's 2 other of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closest stores that have been licensed since 2017. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. 3 of the 5 closest, the sales have gone down, and it's clear based on looking at the numbers that it was in response to the store that opened in 2017. That's when their sales started to decrease, indicating to me that the demand for alcohol has been met, and I don't see any new services or products that this store is indicating they're going to supply, so I don't see any public convenience and advantage.
Next item, 1,055, it's a new on-premises liquor license.
It's a restaurant with 8 employees, a manager, and the principal will also manage. Recorded music only, no dancing. Max occupancy is 125. There'll be 100 seats at tables and 14 seats at the bar. There's no protest. The applicant has 2 other licenses with no adverse history. The previous licensee was canceled due to a police focal point in January of 2020. They are currently on a temp without any problems from what we know, and it is not a 500-foot case.
All right, then. Commissioner Fan,
Yes, I'm gonna vote to approve with the closing hours tied to the closing hours of the mall. Background music only, no dancing, no promoter.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll vote to approve under the same conditions.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll vote to approve under the same conditions.
Next item is 1,056, it's a new package store license.
So this store will have 3 employees. The principal will manage. The principal appears to have no experience in the industry. There are 5 protests from local stores, and 400 local community members also protest. It will not be a bulletproof store. The closest store is 1.8 miles away, and there are 5 stores within 5 miles. The population is decreasing according to the opposition, and there are 7 stores within 5.25 miles according to our paperwork. Now, the applicant indicates that the population is growing at a rate of 0.74% a year, which at best is stagnant.
All right, then, Commissioner Fan, if you're ready to vote.
I'm sorry, Tom. It's going to be 2,124 square feet and 1,911 retail.
Okay, Commissioner Fan, whenever you're ready.
Three of the four closest stores are doing healthy numbers, increasing numbers. Closest store is 1.8 miles away. The next one is 3.2 miles away. While I do understand that perhaps there is a school there, because it's more than 200 foot away, I can't really use that as a reason, and so I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with this location. And there was another license, what it says next to that pilot until 2019, claimed by the applicant here, the representative. Many of the signatures on the petitions against were incomplete. So I'm not sure how legitimate they are, but I think at the numbers of the other stores there, let me just refresh my memory really quickly here. They were all ascending, some quicker than others, but I'm going to vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny.
All right, the next item, 1057. This is a class change from a wine store to a package store.
This is they're going to be a liquor store with 2 employees, and the principal will manage. The principal has 2 on-premise licenses as well, with no adverse history. No adverse history at the wine store, and very little adverse history at the on-premises. The wine store has been licensed since 2015. 6 stores within 2.55 miles, according to our paperwork. The closest store is 0.5 miles, and there are 4 stores within 2.4 miles. Why? The question I have is the numbers that we received from the 4 closest are very old. They're from 2019. And this was this. Oh, I see. Because it was filed. Yeah, but we should still have half of
20.
Yeah, or at least 2/3 of 2020.
Let me take a look at the gross sales letters quickly.
Nine hundred square feet store is currently 900 square feet, and the retail part of it will be 500 square feet. We did not get responses from 2 of the 4 closest. And there is no protest that I'm aware of.
All right, with that, are we ready to vote then?
I'm just wondering if Chairman and Commissioner Ford have any recollection of the conversation when this license was issued in 2015.
They actually asked to be a wine store. That wasn't
Right.
something that we put on. They wanted to be a. I looked at the application. They had applied to be a wine store because that was what their specialty was. I don't know that they've actually indicated why that business model is not working for them.
Yeah, no, I don't fully understand it either, because then they send us a sample of their website, which is like all the wine. I don't understand what that's supposed to do. And I'm not clear on why they didn't actually give us numbers for 16 and 17. I don't know. I don't have enough reason to say yes to this, so I'm going to say no. I vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
I wasn't here when the license, the chairman was. He's more senior than me in many ways. But I'm going to vote to approve. I mean, it's only 500 square feet, so I'll vote to approve.
all right then, Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny. The closest store sales are flat, and there's no evidence given to us of why adding this as a liquor store would be in the public's advantage. So I from just on the application don't see any public convenience and advantage. So I'm voting to deny.
All right then, the next item I have is 1058, which is a new on-premises liquor license.
This is a food hall in Rochester. So it's somewhat complicated. It's going to be a restaurant with they're applying as a restaurant with 6 employees, no security, principal to manage, and they also will employ a manager. They want a DJ, jukebox, karaoke recorded, as well as live music. It is located in an office building. The dining area has a customer bar, and then there are 5 unrelated food concessionaire stands, each with their own kitchen. Applicant will not have a kitchen. The max occupancy is 175. There's table seating for 125, and there's also 19 seats at the bar. They want to have a sidewalk cafe with 6 tables with max occupancy of 30. They do not have bathrooms, which we denied the temp for that reason. But they do have interior access to a hallway in the office building that they're located in. And they plan on using the 2 restrooms that are located out in the hallway that are presumably there for the other tenants as well. The principals both do have experience. There's no adverse history. The concessionaires are paying rent to the licensee in the form of 15% of their revenue. And they obviously need a restaurant waiver. A restaurant waiver, I'm sorry. And the location has never been licensed before. Gary, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, well, first of all, when the board denied the temp, they said that their occupancy was going to be 350 with no bathroom. And I believe, Chairman, you stated on the record that we waive bathrooms in circumstances where we have kind of a standard location with 74 or less and not something that looks like it's set up as a nightclub. Their response to that was to say, no, this is really a food court, not a nightclub, although they do want a DJ, jukebox, karaoke, and live music. And they said that they'll hold occupancy down to 175. So that's one issue. There's another issue that I don't quite understand exactly how it works, but they suggest that 15% of the revenues, or a portion of the revenues of this restaurant, of these restaurant concessionaires, are going to pass through to the landlord. I believe that's how I understand this deal to work. Traditionally, this creates issues for us if this is a percentage of the overall revenues of the place. The board would then consider whether it's a de minimis amount. We have no idea because we don't have any projections as to what percentage of the overall revenues of this place, this piece of the action that's going to the landlord would calculate to. So that would be something that we would certainly want to know before passing on this, if it would meet other requirements of the board for licensing. So I wanted to raise that as well.
I agree. Thanks, Gary. And I mean, for the record, the applicant and representative notified the community or municipality as a tavern, but they applied to us as a restaurant. And these types of food hall scenarios aren't able to be restaurants and have food concessionaires, as they wouldn't meet their statutory obligations for having their own food, entree-like meals from their kitchens. So I think there's some additional issues.
All right, so with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote, or give me some more discussion?
I don't know. I'm really not sure now based on what Council just said.
Well, may I suggest for moving forward that we address the issue of the 175 people in the bathroom? If they're going to fix this 15% issue, but still be denied because they're not entitled to a bathroom with this method of operation, then it might not be worth it to them. So
I'm okay with the bathroom issue because we got a letter from the municipality, the local Department of Public Health, saying that they are comfortable with it and that they have visited, and so I'm okay with the bathroom issue.
Does everyone else, Commissioner Ford, are you okay with the bathroom issues? We can move to the other matter.
Yes, I am too. Yeah.
And Chairman Bradley?
I don't know if I am, but it doesn't matter if they are, so.
All right, then. So with respect then to on the application itself, where are we?
Is there a chance that they have other sources of income where the aggregate of the 15% will not actually equal 15% of their overall gross?
I not only think that's possible, it may be likely, but you don't have any of that information before you. So, I mean, if this is something that can be addressed by the applicant, maybe it is, I mean, maybe it's worth holding over. I don't like to
Well,
suggest that.
the other issue that Adam raised is really a black letter law legal issue. That they're applying as a restaurant, but they don't have their own, they're hiring concessionaires. We don't
That's
allow
right.
that.
That's right.
And when I say we don't allow it, the law doesn't allow it.
Right, because I
Right.
think what they're doing here is that the bar sales is theirs. That's why I'm saying that I think the aggregate of it won't be over 10% because they're taking the alcohol sales, but they're farming out the food, which Adam is now pointing out that is not allowable. So I'm voting to deny.
Yeah, that's right, and I missed that. For them to have an OP license, they have to have their own kitchen, which they don't.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm voting to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm voting to deny as well for the reasons we just spoke of. And the method of operation here was going to be an issue as well. They want a DJ, jukebox, karaoke, recorded live music. I mean, this looks like a nightclub to me and not a food hall. The food halls that I've been in don't have, karaoke machines.
all right, then the next item, 1059, it's a package store removal.
This is a store moving 1.6 miles. It's not bulletproof. It has 2 employees, the principal to manage. The current store is 946 square feet. 658 of that is retail. The new store is 1,488 square feet. 744 is retail. The closest store is 4.4 miles away, and there are 4 within 1.2 miles. They are indicating that they're moving because their store was damaged in the riots, I guess, of last summer surrounding the Black Lives Matter protests, but there's, other than their statement of that and the fact that I believe there certainly were riots in Rochester, there's no evidence of any damage. I don't know if that's the reason or not. The current license has been in safekeeping since December of 2020. There is one protest.
Well, their old location was in the area near the area where a lot of the riots did take place. So they're proposing to move into the inner loop, which is generally greater downtown Rochester.
I think myself, looking at his sales, which dropped 50% between 2018 and 2019, that's probably more the impetus for the move. Which is also
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Are we ready to vote then? Commissioner Fan,
Yes, I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
It's not that much difference in floor space, but a little bit more in storage. So I'm going to vote to approve as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm going to vote to approve as well. I mean, the 4 closest stores are not bulletproof, and he's bulletproof. So I don't know. I think the move is for economic reasons, but I don't know that that's going to help him. So I'll vote to approve.
Chairman, do you want to take a 15-minute break now or keep going through? We're about probably 60% of the way through the calendar.
Can we just, take a break because I have to get a plug for my computer. It died.
All right, so it's 11:55 now. Let's break until 12:10.
All right, thank you.
Are we all ready to resume the meeting then?
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the calendar is 1060. This is an application for a corporate change.
There's a it's 1060 we're on, Tom?
Yes,
Yeah,
1060, yep.
All right, it's a restaurant with 8 employees, security guard, 1 security guard, recorded music, live music, DJ. Closing time is 4 a.m. 7 days a week. There is the previous license was summarily suspended. The original principal on that license passed away on April 14th of 2020. The brother then availed the license, and he was running the business for 5 to 6 months prior to the summary suspension. He has since the summary suspension, applied for a corporate change. I'm assuming that's what instigated the corporate change application, but that's what he's looking to do.
Yes, he obtained letters of administration from the surrogates court. That piece of this appears to be in order, but the premises, while under his brother's control, was open for a year without any incidents that we are aware of. And then following the applicants, well, the brother who wants to take over now, since he was running the place, there appeared to be multiple complaints in July and August of 2020 about parties in the midst of COVID and noise, which prompted us to go to the scene and found that condition there, and we suspended the license, and that's where it's been sitting since August.
So with that, on the corporate change application,
I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
I will vote to approve the corporate change.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm going to vote to approve as well, but I am going to ask us, all of us, to limit the hours till 1 a.m. during the week and 2 a.m. on the weekends, and no DJ or live music until this guy gets his feet on the ground and actually can prove that he can run the place like his brother was. Can I get a buyer?
All right, so I will go with Chairman, Sunday to Thursday at 1 a.m. Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m. and background music only. No promoters.
that's once the summary suspension matter is resolved.
Correct.
That's right.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll go with that as well.
all right then. Next item is 1061, new on-premises liquor license subject to the 500-foot law.
This is a restaurant with 35 to 40 employees, no security. 4 principals will manage, recorded music only. The max occupancy is 208. There are table seats for 130 people, 23 seats at bars. The Sidewalk Cafe consists of 32 tables with 94 seats. The owners all have previous experience. They have a significant number of previous as well as current licenses. One has some adverse history at several of his licenses, although nothing serious in the last 5 years. The ALJ found no public interest because they never received a public interest statement. Then the public interest statement came in, and the ALJ again found no public interest because the statement that came in later was deemed insufficient. The application does not indicate how late the outdoor area will be open, how late the indoor area will be open. It does not indicate how late the windows and doors will remain open. It is located in the bottom of a residential building. There are 11 other licensees within 500 feet. The application is contradictory about whether this premise was actually previously licensed or not. I don't believe it was, but it could have been a restaurant previously. I don't know.
Yes, and for the record, the ALJ in the decision on the second 500-foot hearing where a questionnaire was supplied, found the answer on how the residents would be affected insufficient, found the lack of hours to be a problem, lack of hours disclosed to be a problem, the issue about whether there was a restaurant there to be before to be a problem. And when I opened the supplemental submission from the representative to this applicant, I assumed that some of that information would be answered, and it was not. The supplemental information just based on the experience of the operators, which was not one of the ALJ's issues in denying the 500-foot hearing.
All right, so with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes. So much I want to say, but I'm just going to vote to deny here.
Commissioner Ford,
I think the application and the MO all needs to be cleaned up, more clearly defined. I think there's like too much missing, and we shouldn't have to guess about what the applicant means or what they intend to do. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I agree with both as far as the information lacking. I was actually going to fill it in myself. And they probably wouldn't have liked how I was going to fill it in, but I was going to approve the license, but it is denied.
all right, then the next item is 1062. It's a $1,500 conditional offer. I'm sorry, Commissioner Fan, you were muted there.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next, we have 1063. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1064 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1065 is a $1,000 conditional offer.
This location has adverse history. I'm going to counter at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Yes, I don't see accepting an offer that was less than what they paid in 2018, which is pre-COVID. So I'll go with 2,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll go with the other two commissioners.
1066 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1067 and 1068, $2,500 conditional offer.
I'm going to accept 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
2,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1069, a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
This is just the owners and his sons close to closing time. No customers, no patrons are in the place. And granted,
Oh, fair enough.
they still should have masks on, but I'm willing to go down to at least 1,000.
How do you know it's closing time?
It was closing time is 8 o'clock. These charges were like what, at 7,
Oh, I see. Got it.
7:40, almost close. They're close, almost closing time. And there was no other patrons there, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll go with 1,000.
All right, Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
Next item, 1,070. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,071 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,072, 73, 74, 76, and 77 is a $25,000 conditional offer. You'll see the note, there are some charges that council's office is asking to have withdrawn. Commissioner Fan,
Yes, I'm going to vote to withdraw charges 11, 19, 20, 24, 28, 29, 32, 33 in the first proceeding and charge 2 in the fourth proceeding. And I will vote to accept $25,000 in penalty.
okay. Commissioner Ford,
Gary, were you also withdrawing 2 in the third proceeding as well?
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's right. I think that's in the memo, but it's not in the agenda. So yeah, withdraw 2 in the fourth proceeding as well.
the third proceeding.
Third proceeding.
Right. In the third proceeding. I'm sorry. Yes, correct.
Wait. The memo below indicates the charge 2 in the fourth proceeding.
There's an
Right.
additional one that the request
Our
to withdraw.
memorandum,
Oh, all right. So
our memorandum
that's the
from the
third.
prosecutor had one more charge that just doesn't appear to have made the agenda sheet. So,
Okay. All right.
but that was the deal with the licensing.
I should just go back. Commissioner Fan, you're good with that, withdrawing
Yes.
that charge as well?
Yes,
All right, Commissioner Ford,
Yes. And accepting the 25,000, are we voting on that as well?
yes.
Yes.
Just it's a package deal, yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Chairman Bradley,
I'll accept as well.
1,075, $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley,
I'll accept.
1,078, a $1,500 conditional offer.
Wait, sorry, what number, John?
This is 1,078. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 1,079. This is an offer of cancellation. This is kind of taking a circular route to get to you. And it was delayed by a couple of bureaus before it did wind up before you today. Commissioner Fan?
I very quickly remember this, our experience with this particular licensee or former licensee. He came to full board claiming that he's supporting his family with this business and that he was going to get in line and operate this gentleman's club in the proper way. And I believe that within a very short time from there, someone died there. These experiences really, really shocks me. And so I'm voting absolutely not on the revoke to cancel.
Your counter offer of revocation of bond claim?
No, they want to reduce from revoke to cancel, and I'm voting no.
No. There's
No?
been no penalty on this yet.
Wait. Oh, this is offering cancel?
Right, so
Oh, wait,
what happened was this matter went to hearing. After the hearing, the plan was amended. It went back to the ALJ for an amended decision. That decision was issued. However, back in May, it never got distributed to the licensee or sent to the board. The matter lingered for a while with the hearing bureau. The licensee then submitted a request for reconsideration. It should have been as a conditional offer. It was sent back to have a CNC submitted for cancellation. That never happened, so we're just getting it before you because it's been sitting around. So essentially, the licensee is offering cancellation. The license has already been canceled. All right, if you reject the offer, then the hearing matter will come before you.
So we can just vote to cancel for the record today. The bond is already.
Right, it's already been canceled in bond claim on the matter that was considered after the hearing matter.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid revocation. That's what the lawyer's trying to do, knowing
Right,
that.
there's a pending application, or there's an application that's going to be filed.
I'm at revoke.
All right, Commissioner Ford,
I would accept cancellation.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm at revoke as well. I mean, this is, they were open in 2015, and just look at what has occurred from February 2017 until July of 2019. I don't see any other choice but to revoke.
All right, so just so you understand what's going to happen now is the licensee will be advised of the counteroffer, but in the event it rejects it, the matter will come back before you because the hearing matter has already been resolved. The new hearing report is already done. They just need time to submit a controversy if they want. All right, then the next item,
Tom,
1080.
change my vote to revoke too as well. Might as well make it all unanimous.
Okay. Next item is 1080. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley.
So,
Next item, 1081. It's a $10,000 conditional offer. The license was summarily suspended back on March 17th.
I accept 10,000.
Commissioner Ford,
10,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to accept, but I do want to point out, and hopefully the licensee is listening, based on the pictures, there aren't even enough chairs in this place for them to handle 50% of capacity. And they should think about that before they open back up again. And additionally, the lawyer likes to tell us about all the signs that they put up and about the masks, that telling people to have their masks on and that they have to order food. The signs are useless unless somebody's actually enforcing them.
All right, the next item, 1082. This is a no contest default to 6 charges.
And I'm at 3,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 3,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
3,000.
$1,083 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Gary, explain to me what the violations here are. Two people seated at a bar while consuming beverages at 8 p.m. 319. Oh, that was when indoor service was prevented. Got it. I answered my own question. Except
Yeah, there was there was no on-premise services at that time.
Yep. Thanks for letting me talk myself through that one. Except
Chairman Bradley,
I'll accept.
$1,084, a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I'll accept.
$1,085, conditional offer cancellation and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond offer accepted.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
And just so you know, so the deferred penalty, assuming that does not get paid, will just wind up with a cancellation.
Yeah, this is actually my neighborhood bodega. Too bad it's closed. It's closed. I can confirm that.
$1,086, a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,087, a no contest plea.
I'm at 7,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Yeah. Second time, 7,000.
Chairman Bradley.
7,000.
1,088 is a $2,000, excuse me, a $2,000 conditional offer.
I will accept 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,089 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
All right, Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,090 is a $1,250 conditional offer.
This is just too cute. I'm gonna counter at 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Yeah, I will counter 1,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, I had written the same thing. They were, and by the way, they were open about a month when this happened. So.
Yep.
1,091 is a $5,000 conditional offer.
5,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford
5,000 accept.
and Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,092 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I will go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
Which one? 1,092?
92, yes, sir.
You know, I'll go to 1,000 too, only because they've been licensed 10, 20, 35 years or so or more with no history. So 1,000.
Chairman Bradley,
You got to remind me of that. I'll go to 1,000.
1,093 is a $2,000 conditional offer.
I'll accept 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley,
Accept.
1,094 is a $10,000 conditional offer.
I'll accept 10,000.
Commissioner Ford,
10,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,095 is a pleading default on 2 charges.
I will, take 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
1,096 is a pleading default on 3 charges.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
1,097 is a new on-premises liquor license subject to the 500-foot law. It was held over at the request of the applicant from the last meeting.
So this is a restaurant with 40 employees, no security, DJ and recorded music, 277 max occupancy with 29 tables, seats for 78, 3 customer bars. The principal, Sullivan, will manage. Mr. Sullivan's had over a dozen licenses in the past with a lot of adverse history. He currently has 5 licenses, all of which have, or most of which have adverse history, significant adverse history. The ALJ said no public interest because the adverse history, and that the outdoor space was not explained adequately. This place was previously licensed with no adverse history. The applicant who's going to manage this location has paid tens of thousands of dollars in fines over the years. They will have an outdoor dining space that they want open from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. There will be 9 tables with 91 seats and 9 tables with 18 seats and 8 bar stools. I'm sorry. The place is located on the basement and ground floor and second floor of a hotel in Midtown Manhattan. And there are 11 licenses within 500 feet.
We do have, for the record, we do have an objection from, I guess, the prior licensee in connection with a purported renege deal on the sale of this business or some aspect of it. And the parties are disputing the terms of that dispute, which I don't think is a matter that the board needs to get into the middle of. The question here is whether this applicant is going to be approved on this liquor license. I will note that the seller was happy to sell to this man, and then when their deal went sour, is now saying that he's not doesn't have the character and fitness to operate. It didn't seem to be a problem when he entered into the sale contract.
And just, I failed to mention that our information is that the applicant Sullivan has had 2 licenses canceled, which he failed to disclose. One in 2017 and one in 2006. However, in the supplemental, his attorney indicates that one of the licenses he was no longer part of when it got canceled. I don't know whether that's accurate or not, but I do recall, for lack of a better term, we would have canceled Turtle Bay, but we allowed him to surrender with a large fine instead. So,
He was not on one of, we discussed this at the end of this matter, the last meeting. On one of those licenses, he was not on the license when it was canceled.
And the cancellation from 2017, the corporate change was filed before that was done, and he was removed from the license.
but was the incident before that?
No,
So he was on the license for the incident?
no.
Okay. But like I said, Turtle Bay, it was a stabbing and multiple violent incidents in that location on the east side. And that license was surrendered with a large fine. And if it wasn't and it went to hearing and the charges were sustained, I would have canceled that, so.
All right, so with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, I just want to go back to what council was saying, that I'm not really basing my decision on the information we have about the transaction that happened in the sale of this location. I'm basing it solely on the application. I am shocked by the way this application was submitted because the application only discloses 5 of 27 licenses that one of the applicants has held. There's a mention of a patio, but there's no real information about anything. The max occupancy is 277, but then they only have seats for less than half of that. And so I think this is setting up to be a dance club in a hotel. I would think that the letter that the representative sent us in the supplemental would clarify some of these issues, but then it describes a track record of I don't even know who that is. There is a he referred, but there are 2 applicants. As much as I would like to fill in this application for them, I just can't believe that this is what's submitted for the amount of investment they've made. So I'm gonna vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
You know, it looks like a really nice place. But I can't make my decision based on how good or bad a place looks. But I would use that to say, I would hope this application would be a little bit better than what it is. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley,
I'm gonna vote to deny. I mean, this, what we have here is a place that was being operated very well, that they're trying to bring somebody in to run who has at best a checkered history with running places with this method of operation, including his last place that he surrendered, which had major problems. So given his adverse history, and the method of operation that they proposed and the lack of information regarding the outdoor area, and other things, I'm voting to deny.
right, then the next item, 1,098, it's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next is 1,099, a $2,000 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan,
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1,100 is a $2,000 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan,
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1,101, a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 1,102. It's a conditional offer of $15,000, closed by 11 p.m. Recorded background music only and no DJ. This place was summarily suspended back on August 2nd. Chairman, I have you as being recused from this matter when the summary was imposed.
I will accept the offer as written.
Commissioner Ford,
Based on the letter supplied by the licensee stating what they've done to what their conditions will be, and that they now are operating as a full-service restaurant. I will vote to accept the 15,000 penalty. Closed by 11 p.m., recorded background music only, and no DJ.
Next items, 1103 and 1105. It's a $5,000 conditional.
Tom, can we go back to that other one? I know I can't vote on it, and I'm not going to vote on it, but the offer indicates that they want recorded background music only. Their license doesn't have recorded background music in it. It only has a jukebox.
That's correct. The only thing on their application now, this was an older application, all right, where it says, the type, I think you just request the type of music and they wrote in jukebox.
So Gary, does that mean background music too then, since it's an old application?
I have no legal answer to that. I don't know whether I don't know how that's been interpreted to this point, but I think the board could set that as a condition on this license in connection with this CNC right now.
Okay.
Recorded only, no jukebox. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
that's the offer. So
Yeah.
All right.
what does a jukebox play other than recorded music?
Does a jukebox play 45s anymore? Or
Well, that would be recorded music onto a 45. I think recorded music is a little broader than jukebox. Jukebox is one type of recorded music, but as long as the board is willing to allow other types.
the current application distinguishes jukebox from recorded music.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I recall, and Deputy Commissioner Roberts can correct me if I'm wrong. It's live music, recorded music, karaoke, DJ, jukebox are the categories for check off.
All right. Well, we'll just leave it as it is. It's fine. I just wondered if they knew. Okay.
All right. 1103 and 1105. It's a $5,000 conditional offer.
This is three EO charges over 2 dates. But still, I will lower this to 3,000.
Commissioner Ford.
let's see, 3 pages standing without mask consuming and a live band playing, which is not authorized. Can't have that. I was just going to vote to accept the 5,000, but I'll go down to 3,000 with Commissioner Fan.
Chairman Bradley.
3,000.
Next item I have is 1104. This is a reconsideration of the disapproval of a liquor store alteration application.
Yes. Let me describe this one. So the board rejected the applicant's request to add 898 square feet to this package store. And it did so by addressing the matter under the public convenience and advantage standard, among other things. The reconsideration takes 2 issues. Number one, it says that the written decision characterizes the addition as being 2,275 square feet instead of it being the total of 2,275 square feet, meaning that the way the decision is written is not what was requested. And then the second issue that the reconsideration addresses is whether it's appropriate to decide such a case under the public convenience and advantage standard because it's an alteration application. I did go back and look at the meeting where this was discussed, and it's pretty clear from the video that the board understood at the time it ruled that the addition to the store was just 898, which would leave a total of 2,275, even though the written decision doesn't reflect that. I think the way the written decision reads is just perhaps an error and a non-material one, as it just is the way in which the addition is characterized, and that could be addressed in that way. The other point that is raised in the reconsideration is whether it was appropriate for the board to treat an alteration application under the public convenience and advantage standard. And this is a matter that was addressed expressly in advisory 2020-4, post-licensing package store applications. And the reason for the advisory actually could not more clearly be established than in this case. This is a licensee that initially sought a store of 2,600 square feet. That application was rejected. It then brought in a new request for 1,377 square feet. That application was approved. And this alteration application seeks to raise it back up to 2,275. If the board would treat this as an alteration and under the good cause standard, essentially every licensee could seek to game the system by getting a license in the door and then increasing the size or some other aspect that would have been rejected at the public convenience and advantage evaluation. And that's what the advisory says. I'm reading from the advisory. The law does not, I'm quoting from our advisory, the law does not expressly subject most post-licensing applications for alterations, method of operation changes, related warehouse permits, corporate changes, or transfers to the public convenience and advantage standard. In our recent experience, applicants and licensees have been exploiting this distinction to obtain approval of the store they seek in two steps: securing approval of a more modest operation under the public convenience and advantage standard, and then filing a subsequent post-licensing application to secure additional features. Proceeding in this way can allow a licensee to evade notice to nearby stores and thus potential protests, as well as to have the authority consider an expanded footprint, broader product offerings, or the like under the less stringent good cause standard. And the board voted, no, we're not going to allow that. We're going to consider these applications for what they are, which is an effort to circumvent the public convenience and advantage standard. So with that in mind, at least from my perspective, this case falls directly in line with the advisory. And if the applicant's attorney is going to challenge the board's use of such a standard in these types of cases, I look forward to seeing him in court, where I believe we will be able to get a judge to sustain what the board has done in this advisory. And with that, I'll turn it over to the members.
All right, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote first with respect to the reconsideration? You're muted, Commissioner Fan, sorry.
Based on everything Council just said, I am going to vote to deny on reconsideration.
May I suggest something though? Can I ask the board to consider, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, changing the written decision to accurately reflect the increase in the square footage?
Well, what we'll do is if this is denied, the written decision on the reconsideration will address the error.
Fair enough.
Great.
Commissioner Ford.
Yeah, you're reading my mind, Gary. That's exactly what I wanted to make sure got cleaned up. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. I actually went back to the original hearing as well, and it was clear to me that we were all aware of the actual increase in size and the square footage. Having reviewed the decision and approved it, the mistake in the decision, the written decision, is actually mine. But I think the decision at the board hearing was made properly, and I don't see anything else new here, so I'm voting to deny the recon.
The next item, 1106. It's a request for reconsideration of a package store disapproval.
The applicant here is asking to put in a bulletproof store. We denied it, and now the applicant indicates that he will offer African wines at this location that are not available in the other close stores. However, he's still going to remain bulletproof in an area full of bulletproof stores. So it's not like the people could browse for the African wines anyway. Other than that, there's nothing new.
Yeah, I would also add that the other matter that the board considered the first time around was that there was opposition from a local historical group concerned about another bulletproof store here interfering with the revitalization of that area. That's not a good thing.
I think I
All right,
remember
then.
too, the health clinic, whatever, that was going to be built across the street. I remember that one as well. Little Italy Association. Yeah, I do remember this one. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry.
Okay. On the reconsideration, Commissioner Fan,
I vote no.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm going to have to vote no as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote no as well.
Next time, 1107. It's a conditional offer of $1,500.
With significant adverse history here, I'm going to counter at 2,000.
All right, 2,000. Okay. Commissioner Ford,
That's exactly where I was. 2000.
Chairman Bradley,
2000.
1108. Conditional offer of $1,500.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next time, 1109. It's a new package store application.
So this is a store with 3 employees, principal to manage. The principal has no experience. She indicates she will only be there 2 to 5 hours a day and keep her other job. There is one protest. It's going to be 3,453 square feet. 560 square feet will be retail. The closest store is 1.4 miles away. There are 4 stores within 3.5 miles.
Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, Watertown seems to already have sufficient stores. This applicant does not plan to be at this store. So for now, I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
All the stores are increasing in sales. And this store is on the east side of town where there isn't a store. Not one within walking distance for a lot of those neighborhoods over there. So I'm going to vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
Can I just have 1 second, Tom?
Okay.
I'm going to vote to deny. I don't see any public convenience and advantage. The first 2 stores, the 2 closest stores their sales are flat. While they have shown increase in the last year, that once again to me indicates an increase because of COVID, which I don't think is sustainable. And the 3rd and 4th closest stores also show significant increase over 2019 to 2020. But prior to that, the sales were flat. So I don't see an increase in demand. And There's no evidence of an increase in population or any type of development, so I don't see any public convenience and advantage.
Next item is 1110. It's a new package store application.
This is a interesting case.
To say the least.
This is a new package store application at a location that currently has a package store license. So just to be clear, there was a licensed package store at this location for decades. The owner died last year in 2020, and at that time, her son put the license in safekeeping where it remains with us today. During that time, the landlord sold the building that the store was in and to new owners. The new owners then, well, I guess it's contested whether they effectively evicted the liquor store for failure to pay rent, which would be illegal since there was a moratorium on evictions going on and still going on due to COVID, or whether the son moved out. But so the evidence of that is mixed, but it's clear that the locks were changed. So that to me would indicate that they effectively evicted him. The son has indicated that he wishes to reopen his mother's store and has put in a application in order to do so. That license still exists at that address. And Gary, you can explain the legal ramifications of this, but I don't know how we license another store at an address that already has a license connected to it.
Yeah, let me just pick up from there and say that the son, although he may not have had the best legal advice or understood the law that well, initially attempted to continue the business in that location. In fact, he applied and paid for an ST to continue the business there, applying for his own license at the same location, apparently not realizing that under Section 122 of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Law, he could have asked the board to allow him to assume his mother's license for the remainder of the period that location was licensed. And then when the building was, I think he was attempting to buy the building from the landlord. And then when the landlord sold to the other purchaser who is connected with this current applicant, without recognizing again his right to be there, he then, it appears, withdrew his application for the store in that location and is applying for a license in another location. We also have information from the landlord who sold the business that the prior licensee's lease had expired and was there basically on a month-to-month basis, and at some point stopped paying the rent. So that is a complicating, well, it's a complicating factor as to what happened. But it looks like the only way that the board is not permitted to license two businesses in the same location. So the question here is whether the licensee abandoned this license. I do know that the son obtained testamentary letters on behalf of the mother. So the estate of our licensee put it into safekeeping, did not surrender it, which would arguably be inconsistent with the notion that there was an attempt to abandon the license.
All right, then, unless there's any other discussion, are we ready to proceed to the vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Fan?
As Chairman and Council pointed out, since evictions are not legal right now, the license is in safekeeping. There's not really allowed to issue another license for this premise, and so I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm going to vote to deny as well for the same reason.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm gonna vote to deny as well. I'm, it's obvious that that the licensee still intends on maintaining his mother's license. Right now, that license is attached to this location, which by law does not allow us to grant another one at this location. All indications are he's going to do a removal of that license from this location, and at that time, then they can reapply.
The next item is 1111. This is a new package store license.
So this is a store with 3 employees, principal and managed, with her husband, who actually works at another liquor store. The wife has no experience at all. It appears that she was a housewife for at least the last 5 years. The store is 1,800 square feet, 1,260 that will be retail. The store was previously licensed twice as a package store. We canceled one of the licenses for being non-bona which means it just closed and didn't notify us. There's no protest. 1.6 miles is the closest store. There are 4 stores within 7.1 miles. She has made it clear that her husband is going to have a major role in this store, yet there is no personal questionnaire for the husband. So I'm either going to deny this based on that, or I'm going to ask that it be put over to get the personal questionnaire, because I don't like the fact that he's working at another store and we know nothing about the store he works at or anything else about him.
And I have a question. If the is the grocery store license, do they have a beer license? Because can you really divide the space into 2 with the same entrance? I have concerns about that as well. So hold it over, Chairman.
Can we get answers to those questions, Adam?
Just give me one moment, please.
Because they're going to want to.
Yeah, well, we can put it over. We do have I apologize. We do have a personal questionnaire for the manager that wasn't included in the materials. He does indicate that he currently works at another liquor store, package store in Buffalo. It appears to have the same last name as the principal on that license. So, I'd be happy to hold this over so we can share that information with the members for review.
Okay.
And then you want him to reach out to get your question answered?
Yes, please.
Hers was about the entrance.
So over
Was there anything
to,
else specifically about the entrance, Commissioner Fan?
Well, they said that the door would be different, but it hasn't been constructed yet. And I don't know. I just want you to tell me that you're comfortable with licensing 2 different premises within the same building the way they have described it, Adam.
Okay, we'll get clarification for you, and I'll come back and give you.
Yeah,
an
if you're okay
opinion.
with it, you don't need to reach out with that to anybody. Just let me know. Thank you.
Sure.
So we're gonna hold this over to 428?
Sure.
Are we good with that?
Thanks.
All right, the next item, 1112. This is a new package store application.
That was 1112. Right?
That was 1111.
11.
It's 1111.
1112 has a door issue.
Yeah, if you were looking at 1112, I have the same issue with the door as you do, Commissioner.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was totally looking at the wrong thing. I'm super sorry, Adam.
No problem. Like I said, it makes more sense about why I was confused about doors over the questions over the door, but I was happy to look in. I was happy to look into it.
All right, so 1111 is being held over to April 28th on the other issue.
I
For the
appreciate
PQ.
the discretion. I obviously didn't know what I was talking about.
So the applicant in 1111, the applicant in 1111 doesn't have to say anything about a door in Sullivan County.
Correct.
All right, the next item then is 1112.
To be clear, 1111 is being held over for the personal questionnaire of the husband, correct?
The manager
And the husband, yes.
Yes.
We already have it. Adam's just going to disseminate it to us.
for your
Okay,
review.
thank you. All right.
All right, then the next item is 1112. It's a package store application.
This is
All
a
right,
store with
now-
three. This is a store with 3 employees, principal to manage, but will continue his present employment. It's 1,386 square feet. It's 1,200 square foot retail. The principal owns the grocery store that this is going to be attached to. That is also licensed as a beer license. This is the one that Commissioner Fan was talking about previously. He's actually quartering off or cutting away a piece of his grocery store and going to make it the liquor store. He's indicated that it will have a separate door. Our investigator went out because there's a 200-foot issue here. It's within approximately 200 and some feet of a church. And when our investigator went out, the door had not been constructed yet. He was told where the door was and measured it and found it to be 208 feet away from the church, which obviously would be fine. However, now we are finding from the diagram that the door is not exactly where the investigator was told it would be, and the applicant indicates that it is 202 feet from the church, which would still be fine. However, I think Commissioner Fan is pointing out that she has an issue believing that, and as do I. I think we need to send the investigator back.
Well, may I suggest in a concession to the brevity of life that if this is a case that would, I mean, this is the 4th store in Liberty.
Approve it. Well, yeah, if we approve it, we can make it conditional on that. That's good. So we'll do the analysis.
Yeah, so that if it's accepted, then it'll have to be subject to confirmation that it's not within 200 feet of the church. If it's denied, then the 200-foot issue becomes irrelevant.
Okay, you're right.
All right, so then we're ready to proceed with a vote then?
Yes.
So yeah, let me go through the rest of it then. It's so there's 3. The closest store is 0.3 miles away. There are 4 stores within 4.8 miles, and as council pointed out, there are three of those 4 closest are actually in the Village of Liberty. There are 4 protests.
All right, then, with that, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes. With the two closest stores doing significantly declining numbers, I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford?
For the record, there are protests from all 4 stores. So I'm going to vote to deny as well. I just don't see the need for another store in Liberty right now.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to deny as well, Liberty, I'm familiar with Liberty, living in Ulster County, and it's just the next county over. It's a small village that already has 3 stores. Their sales are, the 2 closest stores, their sales are flat, showing some recent increase, once again, due to the COVID situation. But I don't see an increase in demand, and I know just from my own experience that there is no increase in population in Liberty. So I don't see any public convenience and advantage.
All right, then the next item is 1113. It's another package store application.
This is a package store with 6 employees, principal to manage. It will be bulletproof. The principal owned a grocery store and has some sale of minor issues in the recent past. There's no protest. This was a previously licensed location. I believe that location closed in 2019. It is 3,965 square feet with 215 of it being retail. And once again, it is bulletproof. The 4 closest stores, the closest is 0.5 miles and it's bulletproof. There are 4 within 1.1 miles. Two of the 4 closest are bulletproof and 2 of them are not bulletproof. There are 7 stores in just over 1.1 miles.
What's with the first store sales figures? 19 from 19 to 20. 20 indicates $5,000. You think that's a typo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Adam or Tom, do you have the letter that the applicant returned to determine if that's what he said or if that's a typo?
I can take a quick look for you.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Ford, that appears to be correct. The New Generations liquor was the earlier item that was proposing to move based on riots that we felt may have happened in that time.
Oh, yes,
So
okay.
that number is consistent with what was reported in their gross sales letters on that report.
And they also indicated they put the license in safekeeping in December. So
they appear to be accurate.
All right.
All right, then, are we ready to proceed with the vote?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
I don't think that there are any public convenience in another bulletproof store here. And as we discussed earlier in the meeting, stores in this area is already really, really suffering and trying to survive here. So if they're hanging on their lifeline, I don't think we need more stores. So I'm going to vote to deny. Maybe find a different location. I understand this owner may be a good candidate for a liquor store, but not here.
All right, Commissioner Ford?
I agree with Commissioner Fan. I vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to deny as well. I failed to also mention that the 3rd closest store we just opened in 2018, which also is I considered in my decision. I don't see any public convenience and advantage to adding a bulletproof store, even though there was one there previously. The sales of the people that did report don't indicate that there's an enormous demand for alcohol, and as we've said many times at this board, the bulletproof store is not really something that's favored for public convenience and advantage.
Right, then the next item, 1114. It's a new wine store application.
This is a small wine store. The principal will be the only employee and manage the store. The principal is a wine buyer and sommelier. She will continue her current employment, doing both of those things. It is 550 square feet. 350 square feet of that will be retail. There's one protest. The closest store is 0.1 miles, and there are 4 stores within 0.3 miles. The closest store is actually a brand new store that we opened in 2019, and it's a natural wine store. The third closest store opened in 2018. And then the fourth closest store opened in 2016. There are 7 stores within 1,235 feet. This store, the applicant indicates, will be focusing on what's called orange wines. She already has an orange wine subscription service. And I think they explained pretty clearly what orange wines are and why they are different. The closest store is devoted to natural wines and has indicated that they carry orange wines as well, and also can ship them and have a number of, they have some in stock, and they also have a number of others that they will ship to their customers. So this is a subset of natural wines from based on what their description is.
Yeah, I would also just point out that the applicant says they will sell exclusively orange wine. That's the only thing they will sell. And of course, claims to have a wider variety of that than their competitors.
She is, as I said, has a subscription service that she appears to be partnering with another wine store or another liquor store in doing the mail order subscription. She intends to run it from this store. So if that's the main business model, I don't know why you would need to be in the middle of downtown Manhattan to do that. It seems you could do that anywhere.
Yeah, it's interesting, Chairman, because from the letters of support, it seems like their partner is that other store on Delancey Street that we just opened in 2019.
Well, she'd have to have some kind of partner if she's doing it, because it would be illegal without a license.
Right. But
And in
we
fact,
don't have a
the sales would have to go through that. She can only take a marketing fee, right? Theoretically, which I'm sure is not happening.
Right, okay.
All right, Commissioner Fan, you ready to vote?
Yes. While I understand the protest from this closest store that we very recently licensed, and they are offering a similar kind of product, I would say that because that store is more closer to Chinatown and this store is more in the SOHO area, and that they're offering a unique item, and perhaps I'm envisioning, I'm making up in my mind that maybe the displays would be I guess the pictures are showing that the displays would be quite attractive at Essex Crossing. So I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
Protest we got is from not one of the closest 4 stores.
No, I think it is. It's the one of Delancey that showed that wrote in. It's just they are called People's Wine, and they didn't really submit that DBA to us.
Got it,
Yeah, that's correct. So it looks like it may come from the closest store at 115 Delancey Street. The note was put in the memo because, again, as Commissioner Fan pointed out, they represented themselves as People's Wine. We don't have a People's Wine at that location. We do have a premises Pet Nat LLC. So they may be going by a different DBA, which is problematic.
It's a unique wine that they're a type of wine that they're talking about running exclusively, and can we hold them to that that's all they can sell, since that's what they've represented to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I can foresee what's going to happen here. In a year, they're going to come back and say that that business model was untenable and their customers are asking for all kinds of natural wines and we need to broaden our horizons. And I'm going to make clear that that's not happening.
You say that like you've been down that road before there, Chairman.
I have.
So, I'll vote to approve, but I'm going to put it on the record too, that that's all they're allowed to sell as they've asked for.
Commissioner Fan, are you going to condition your approval on that as well?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Chairman Bradley?
Now I'm going to vote to deny. I don't see any public convenience and advantage to selling one product, particularly when the closest store, which looks like a couple hundred steps away, is carrying that same product. The applicant herself acknowledges that there's only a few dozen of these orange wines available, and the closest stores indicated they're carrying between 4 and 8 of them themselves. And on top of that, we opened 2 stores within the last 3 years and 3 stores within the last 5 years within 0.3 miles of this exact location. So like I said, if her intent was to start a subscription service, in my mind, it would be better to find a place where you can do that rather than smack dab in the middle of 4 stores that's just open. But once again, the license is obviously granted just so that when someone goes back and watches this, that she specifically indicated that her only method of operation was selling these specialty wines, orange wines, and she should be held by that. If this ends up coming back in 2 years, asking to sell different types of products, it should be denied.
But then the next item is 1115. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept?
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1116 is a $1,500 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan,
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept?
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1117 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I am going to counter at 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm going to counter at 3,000.
Chairman Bradley.
They had 100,
Counter at 3,000 as well.
yeah, 118 patrons inside.
All right, the next item, 1118, it's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'm going to counter at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
For what, 1118?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
I'll accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley,
I'll counter at 2,000.
1119 is a $2,500 conditional offer.
I would take 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
2,500 accept?
Chairman Bradley.
2,500.
1120 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept?
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
1121 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept?
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
1122, a $3,500 conditional offer.
I'm going to counter at 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll counter at 5 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
5,000.
1123 is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
11, 24, 25, 26, and 28 is a $20,000 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
I'm gonna accept 20,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I will accept 20,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I was gonna ask for 30. These charges are all pre-COVID, and other than the last two, and the place is a health hazard. But so I just think it's dangerous. But it's 20.
All right, then, the next items, 1127 and 1129. It's a $10,000 offer. This license was summarily suspended back on March 19th. And council's office is looking to withdraw charge number 2 in the first proceeding. Commissioner Fan, when you're ready.
I'm gonna vote to withdraw charge number 2 in the first proceeding and accept $10,000.
Commissioner Ford,
With charge, I'm sorry, with charge.
number 2 in the first proceeding,
Unauthorized.
the trade name charge.
Yeah. Yes, I will withdraw that one and accept 10,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll withdraw charge 2, and I'll accept 10,000.
1130 is a $1,500 conditional offer. Commissioner
I
Fan,
will
when you're
go to
ready.
1,000.
1,000. Commissioner Ford,
I'll go to 1,000 as well.
Chairman
License.
Bradley.
So I'll go to 1,000 because of there's been no adverse history in 14 years, and the license has been in existence since 1993.
Next items, 1130 B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. This is a $40,000 conditional offer.
Can we throw a
License
J
plate.
in there just for?
No, J's on the next one. This is B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. It's a $40,000 conditional offer. The license was summarily suspended back on January 6th.
Yeah, there are 8 cases here,
There,
8 proceedings. Just for the record,
right, there are 8 proceedings, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I.
I'm not questioning the lettering. I'm gonna say something else on the record.
Well, I thought there was a question about where J was.
Okay.
All right.
So in the 4th proceeding, there are 2 availing charges. One based on conduct witnessed in July of 2019, where a promoter identified a Walter Mejia as the owner of the location with whom he was doing business and had a profit sharing arrangement. Then in December of 2019, in connection with another availing charge, the records include the statement from Mr. Mejia that he and his wife own 40% of this business. We now have in the supplemental material submitted, I guess, a year and 4 months later, the statement from Mr. Mejia that he never owned any of the business. And that is being asked to be accepted in connection with this $40,000 offer, which is by no means limited to just those availing charges. There are 4, 7, 11, 26, 27, 37, 40, 46 separate charges for over 8 cases for a license that was issued in June of 2019.
All right, Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Yes, I really don't trust. I have no idea who's on the license and who's actually running this place. And with the voluminous number of charges and cases and the lack of explanation, I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm in cancel and bond too. I think there's some very suspicious availing activity possibly going on here or having gone on here, so I'm voting to cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm at revoke and bond. Just so if it does go to hearing, they're clear on what's probably coming.
All right, then, the next items I have are 1130 J, K, and L. This is a $30,000 offer. This license was summarily suspended back on March 31st.
I'm gonna accept 30,000.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll accept 30,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I was actually going to go down on this just because she gave a very, the owner gave a very persuasive letter of mitigation.
I'll go to 25, Chairman.
And and she also indicated all the efforts that she made to cure the issues. So,
Commissioner Ford, you're at 25.
I'll go to 25, yes.
Where are you, Chairman Bradley?
25.
25.
I'll go to 25, Tom.
All right. All right, Chairman, I have nothing else on the calendar today. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.